2020. The decision is not yet final. You, your partner, and your families will all be welcome. If you are interested in assisting in the organization of this event, please contact me. I welcome all the help I can get. I would like to introduce the executive that work hard in keeping your charity running. I'm Jan Pavey, the president. Gabriel Turmel-Boussier is vice president and day of flight coordinator. Dr. Neil Cooper is vice president and medical director. Dr. Neil is also board chair of the National Board of Dreams Take Flight. David Hardwick is vice president and communications director. Lisa Allen is our secretary. Jillian DeSchutter is currently our treasurer. We also have 3 advisory boards that assist us. The first general advisory board attends most meetings and is comprised of Josh Perry, who keeps track of our finances, Paula Hutton, who is our volunteer coordinator, working in conjunction with Lisa Allen, Paul Carpino is our graphic designer, and Rob Perry is head of fundraising. The fundraising committee is chaired by Rob Perry and includes Annalise Milliken, Susan Dennett, Elaine Callender, and Paige Ross. The Day of Flight committee is chaired by Gabriel and includes Allison Smith, the agency and family coordinator, Dr. Jody Patrick, pediatrician, Andrea Cruz, hangar and inventory coordinator. Thanks to everyone that purchased a $10 Dreams Take Flight membership to the Calgary chapter. It does support our chapter financially and at the same time gives you the right to vote at this AGM. Then 10% of our paid-up members support us by voting at the national level. For every 10 local memberships that a chapter sells, we are entitled to 1 delegate vote at the Dreams Take Flight National. These delegates are considered members of Dreams Take Flight National and are entitled to attend and vote at the national AGM, as well as other special national meetings. At this time, I would like to welcome Jillian DeSchutter to conduct the AGM portion of the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Okay, start time for Lisa. She needs 1915. Last year we missed that and we missed a couple of other things, so we're going to catch it all tonight. Okay, Dr. Neil Cooper, you have to tell us if we have quorum. I know you're going to say yes. All right, so we need approval of the minutes of the previous AGM. The motion was put forward earlier by Lisa Allen, seconded by David Hardwick. Is there any discussion? Did anybody read the minutes? If you did, put up your hand. Liars. I'd like a vote by show of hands for those who are in agreement of approving the minutes. Is there anybody opposed? Passed. The President's report. Well, Jan could just read what she started with, because that's what it was.
How many remember it? Go ahead.
Sure, Mike. There we go. Sorry, I did mess that up. Okay, good evening and welcome to the 2025 AGM reporting the 2024 results. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you again to ConocoPhillips for the use of this beautiful venue. I'd like to thank the executive and the advisory board for their support and hard work this past year. In 2024, we successfully took 118 kids to Universal Studios in Hollywood, California on November 19th for a one-day magical experience. Financially, we have had another successful year. We received financial benefits from 2 golf tournaments. Olympia Trust supported Dreams Take Flight with a portion of the proceeds from their very successful golf tournament. A huge shout out to Craig and his team for their continued support in our charity. Forever Young Management, in conjunction with Dreams Take Flight, hosted a golf tournament in July at the Cottonwood Golf and Country Club. A large number of our volunteers were heavily involved in this event. Our annual online auction was a very successful event. We raffled 2 sets of Air Canada tickets, as we have for many years. While this did not sell out, we have formulated a plan to get us to sell out this year. We held the Fund the Flight event in August at the Harvest Hills Alliance Church. This was the scene of the annual Police Chief, Fire Chief dunk tank event. Although we had numerous people lined up to be dumped, the dunk tank did not survive the police chief's first dunk. The day, however, was still a success with lots of police special units, canine SWAT, bomb squad showing up. We also had a few fire trucks in attendance along with EMS. We are fortunate in Calgary to continue to have many major sponsors that support us. ConocoPhillips, Olympia Trust, and Baytex, along with many other corporate and personal donors. We also participate in Rogers Birdie for Kids fundraiser, which tops up contributions by 50%. Thanks to you, the great volunteers that continue to support us. Dreams Take Flight Calgary is the most successful Dreams of the 8 chapters in Canada. Thank you so much for your hard work.
I'd like to now invite Josh Perry up to review the financials with you.
As Jan said, we had a very successful year this year. I'll start off with a little bit of the income statement, or the balance sheet, not the income statement. End of the year, we had about $290,000 left in our bank accounts carried forward for this year, with $190,000 in our main operating account, so we're off to a good start for the beginning of this year. Our investments, we are sitting at about $915,000 on our investments. We're very financially stable with a large chunk of that in our one main investment, and then we have our one car, $105,000, still sitting in inventory, ready to be auctioned off at any moment. So as you can see, our 2024 revenue for the year was $370,000. Surprisingly, the main income earner was our investment. It earned $131,000 on the investment, which is a 12% increase over the last year. We also had corporate donations of $104,000. From all our corporate, and then the golf tournament brought in about $60,500. It netted $28,645 at the end of the day there. Our next, from Birdies for Kids, we earned just over $20,000 on Birdies for Kids on a $45,000 initial investment. And then the silent auction, $22,900, brought in a net of $20,900. Inside of the $11,000, the raffle brought $11,700, netted out to $10,362. And then the rest of them, fairly small, making up little bits, in the $7,200 other fundraising. That does include our Fund the Flight, which brought in $6,500 of revenue, netting out to $2,989 on net revenue. And then we had $2,900 of membership dues. For expenses, obviously our largest expense in the year was the day of flight. At $205,000 for the year. Our silent auction had a small $2,000 expenses. The golf tournament was $31,900. We had various meeting expenses, mainly just meals and entertainment meals for the executive meetings of $3,200. Office expenses, which I might have read it backwards, of $2. Office expenses, $10,600? Yes, $10,600. Oh, okay. Just ignore the $267,000. That seems to be a a sum of everything else or everything on our income statement. No, the 204 is due for. And bank charges of $4,700, and then just various, what do we have in the 10.2 for other categories includes telecommunications, meter, insurance expenses, and interest in bank charge. No interest in bank charges on, so. Yeah, just various miscellaneous ones. Here you go. Telecommunications of 2.7, insurance of 1.8. The raffle had 1.4, mainly just the bank charges on the transactions, and then a small amount of meals and entertainment, and I believe $10,000 of just $12,000 of just miscellaneous office expenses. All in all, we made $103,000 on the year. As I said, the golf tournament had $28,645 of net revenue. The raffles came out at $10,362, and the investment had a very good year at earning $131,000 for the year, leading us to overhead of about 5.1%, which is very, very good for us. Just running kind of lean on our overhead expenses. And yeah, it leaves us in a great financial position going forward for the next year. As I said, we're pretty flush with funds for this year and future years. Any questions? So,
Thank you, Josh. Now, there is a motion. At an AGM, the members don't approve the financials. The auditors have to. So we have a motion to forward the financial reports to the auditors for review and approval. Fortunately, this year, both James Osborne and Frida Osborne have agreed to be our auditors one more time. So thank you both very much. The motion was earlier put forward by Josh Perry, seconded by Gabriel. And I'd like by a show of hands for all of those that are in approval. Are there any that disagree? Way to go, Josh, it's unanimous. All right, we just got, we had an election last year, and typically anybody on the executive is there for 3 years. There is going to be one change effective tonight. We have a board executive of 6 volunteers that have served since 2024, those being Jan, Neil, Lisa, myself, David, and Gabriel. And of course, we've always been supported by the board advisory members, and they have been instrumental in our success. And a big, big thank you to all of you who are on the advisory board. Thank you very much. Effective tonight, I am stepping back from an executive position as treasurer, and as the Not-for-Profit Act allows, we are going to appoint Josh as our treasurer for the balance of my term, which is another 2 years. And that way the board structure stays the same as far as the executive is concerned. There will be 6 on the executive, supported by the advisory groups as required. So your board executive will now consist of Jan Caveney as president, Neil Cooper as our vice president, David Hartwick as vice president number 2, and Gabriel Turmel-Bussière as vice president 3. Lisa Allen continues as secretary, and our treasurer is Josh Perry. Welcome aboard, Josh. Are there any questions? Either you're all cowards or it was very clear. That's great. So that means we can look for a motion to adjourn. Okay, James Osborne has made the motion. Thank you, James. Thank you all very much for attending the AGM, and now we're going to move into the membership meeting and volunteer recognition.
Sorry, who seconded that?
I did.
If you want a seconder, put down page, but
Yeah,
you don't need
I seconded it.
for a motion for sure.
Thank you, Julian. Well done, as always. If this is your first Dreams Take Flight Calgary meeting, please stand up and be acknowledged. How many new people do we have here? Woo-hoo! Way to go and welcome. We invite our new members to assemble in the lobby. If you go to the lobby and then turn left, you can get down a corridor into another little room at the end of our meeting for a little orientation session. If you have any problems locating it, just let us know, but we'd like to invite you to an orientation session. The most asked question this year is, are we going to California this year? I'm happy to announce that we are planning on returning to Disneyland in California this year. Our tentative date is October 22nd. We know there is much concern about traveling to the USA in this uncertain political climate. Halifax and Toronto are both going to Disney World this spring. Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Vancouver are all traveling to Disneyland earlier in the fall than us. We will monitor their success. We know that Disneyland will look different, but we are hopeful that we can obtain the new disability passes for our kiddos. I have spoken to CBP, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, and they have assured me that crossing the U.S.-Canada border is still possible. It is early in the year. While the U.S. exchange rate is not very favorable, although I hear it's come up a couple of cents, we have a few arrows in our quiver and we will be able to deal with that issue. We are fine financially as shown during the AGM, and we will continue the great work that got us there. First comes fundraising. Here's what is planned so far with details to follow. The Calgary Marathon, our annual silent auction, Air Canada ticket raffle, Fund the Flight Festival, Dreams on the Green golf tournament, Olympia Trust golf tournament, Rogers Shaw Classic Birdies for Kids. Black tie and blue jeans will not happen again this year. I know that volunteers talk among themselves about how much fun it was and how successful it was. Here's the background. We no longer have the supporters that used to attend the event. To hold that event requires more than 6 months of organizing, bi-weekly and then weekly meetings for the organizers. The cost to host this event is $100,000. We have to raise that $100,000 before anything goes into our pocket. To attain that goal, we need at least 200 to 250 people to attend that have deep pockets and are willing to spend at the event. The last black tie and blue event was not very successful. It was lots of fun, but our goal was not achieved. Galas seem to have lost their shine generally in Calgary. If there is a volunteer that wants to chair this event and can guarantee me the guests, please come forward and see me for next year. The bottom line is that the risk is not worth the return of $20,000 to $30,000, which largely comes from our silent auction. The Calgary Marathon. John Bird is an Air Canada 787 captain and avid runner and coach. He is running a half marathon with hopes of getting into the Guinness World Book of Records as the only and fastest pilot running a half marathon in full uniform, pulling a suitcase. John, please come to the podium to describe your plan. We need to capitalize on his personal hard work by making money. There are a couple of things you can do. We have pledge forms, very old school. You solicit your friends and family to sponsor him, so much a kilometer. It's 21 kilometers, so $1 a kilometer is $21. Hopefully they pledge more than that. Any donation over $20 to Dreams Take Flight entitles the donor to a tax receipt. You do the work by sponsoring yourself and by soliciting other donors, collecting the names and addresses as well as the money on the sheet. We also have a special page along with the donate button on our website, yyc.dreamstakeflight.ca. You can refer donors to this site to pay by credit card. You can also send people to the Calgary Marathon website, where we are listed as one of the charities. We are again participating in the Rogers Charity Classic Birdies for Kids. You can donate on their website and we receive an additional 50%. Ours will be awarded for those people collecting money. The formula will be similar to the auction formula for awarding ours. It is a given that he will complete his marathon. He is running the Boston Marathon next week, although he's leaving his suitcase at the hotel. John needs our support while running. The marathon is Sunday, May 25th. It would be great to have our volunteers out to cheer him along the way. Please wear your Dreams jerseys and bring your kids and friends to holler at him as he flies by. There's a block party the day before in the East Village on 6th Street between 6th and 8th Avenue. We hope to have the Air Canada tent set up. The block party runs from 7 until 2 p.m. on Saturday. I'm not familiar with this event, but I believe everyone is welcome. Information will be sent by email as well as in our newsletter. Let's try to better our goal of raising $10,000. Go, John, go. John, can you tell us about the course and a little bit about yourself?
I'm not terribly prepared. Most of the time when I speak on a mic, I'm looking out a windshield and I've got a headset on, I'm not looking at a lot of people, so excuse my nerves. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jen. I am an avid runner. I've run 24 marathons and a whole bunch of half marathons and 10Ks, a lot of them around Calgary. Started out running and then I really liked having good food on layovers and it was a lot easier to put shoes in my luggage than it was to throw a bike in there. So that's how I kind of got started with this. Basically, when you're out on doing running a marathon takes a lot of training to get there, and you get a lot of time with yourself. And when you forget to charge your headphones, you let your mind just run wild, and you come up with all sorts of crazy ideas. So I ran the London marathon, and it's a huge marathon. There's about 50,000 people, and as part of that, a lot of people don't know, it's actually the largest fundraising activity in all of the UK. Most of it is Guinness. A lot of the fundraising is done through Guinness work. So here I am being surrounded by somebody dressed as a submarine, more fruit than you see in Sobeys aisle, and when I was running, I actually heard this banging along, and I looked to the side, and there was a gentleman running in ski boots. And I thought, geez, that sounds like a really cool idea. I always admired the Dreams Take Flight organization, and I thought, geez, I wonder what the fastest time is for a pilot. And as chance would have it, the fastest time just had been set. And it was some guy in the UK that ran in, I looked like a Spirit of Halloween uniform. And I thought, geez, I know a guy who's got a uniform that looks a whole lot better than that. So that's how it came to be. So I reached out to Dreams Take Flight and said, would you guys be interested? And the response kind of went, in your uniform? And I went, sure. And Jan jumped right on board. So then I was talking to Air Canada, and they were super supportive. Initially, the same question, but not in your uniform, right? And I went, yes. And I figured it'd be a great wear test of our uniform. So that's where we went with that. And then it was just getting a hold of Guinness, and we've been waiting since November patiently for them to get it through. And just this past weekend, we got the green light that my attempt has been accepted for a half marathon. So that's a little bit of the background. The race day itself, I know the Calgary Marathon race organizers, they've been really supportive as well. There's a lot of tracking that has to occur during there. You have to track me with both a video image, and I'm going to have all sorts of GPS trackers to make sure they got it, because I am not going to do this dragging my luggage and not get tracked. So, So then, for the actual race day, the course itself runs out. It starts at the Stampede grounds. Runs out, goes through Inglewood, goes up over to Telus Park, then comes back around, goes through downtown, down Electric Avenue, over the 14th Street Bridge, and then motors itself along Memorial and comes back to the Stampede grounds where there's a big post-race party. Yeah, any support along there, all the runners, I tell you, as a marathoner, it is really, really good to have somebody cheering at you, even if you just see their number. I ran the Boston Marathon the first time and it started to really suck, and some gentleman yelled at me, "Hey, 75, 76, keep running." And I'm like, "Oh, jeez." That was me. So, yeah, any sort of support is great, and I'd love to see some smiling faces and some Doomsday Flight swag waving and telling me to go, because myself and my rotator cuff might be a little bit angry going through about 15 kilometers. And I'm not running in my dress shoes. I'll just put that right there. And in terms of fundraising, it's just to get part of this is just to get the awareness for Doomsday Flight. It's such a great organization, and it seems it's somewhat underground. I put it on my own socials, and I think last we checked, in just a weekend, there's been almost $1,000 raised. So that's fantastic.
Got an update on that. As of an hour ago, there were 26 donors were sitting at over $1,400. And there's also another $200 or $300 on the marathon website. And just to add a little bit of flavor to this, I am no longer the treasurer, so I can't use Dreams funds, but I will personally match the first $1,000 that comes out of this room tonight. And Josh will have the credit card machine, or you can go online and do it.
Thanks a lot, Julie. So, so share on, I think there's going to be some social posts go out. Share on your social posts. There's the pledge forms. Any bit helps. It's kind of a one-time event, because unless I'm trying to beat my own record later, but I'm not sure I want to do this more than once. But yeah, lots of, hopefully we can get lots of traction on this, and we got about a month to go, and we'll see you at the marathon.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for John? Oh, somebody over here's got questions for you.
Is the suitcase going to be loaded?
Yeah.
With air. Maybe some balloons.
Water bottles.
And I think it's got skateboard wheels.
Yeah, it's not the crew luggage. I splurged and got my own luggage, and it's got rollerblade wheels.
Rollerblade wheels. So.
The crew one I think would make it do about Inglewood, and then I'd be lugging it, and I'd be really, really crotchety.
You have backup luggage?
I do have a backup luggage. Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Go ahead.
Julian, here's the first $100.
Oh, way to go, Anita! Thank you. Anita from Forever Young Management Group. Thank you, Anita. Any other questions for John? Okay, well, as he said, we need lots of people along the course route cheering him on, because you heard him say that really does make a difference when you're getting tired at the end of the day. So, and if there's anybody else here that's a runner, maybe somebody in the first row? No?
I'll be there.
Alrighty, well, you'll get more information in your email. Oh, there's a couple more questions at the back.
No, it's money.
Oh, it's money.
Johnny Pig Roast is going to be in the marathon.
Oh, Johnny, are you running in the marathon? Oh, fabulous. Okay, John, put up your hand, because I don't know if you've ever met. You know each other? Okay, John works on the ramp, so you'd probably seen each other. So thank you for the money, and one more question at the back. You have to really holler. I can't hear you. Raymond?
Might also be running. And what?
You might also be running?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Is it okay fundraising for Dreams?
I'm gonna need help with that.
The way the race roster site, as long as you just register as part of, like, or when you register, I think, and when you do the race roster, there's a, are you running for a charity? You can select that, and then any funds raised that you do, it goes through the Calgary Marathon site. There's the charity site, and you can get people, just direct people there to donate, and it just goes through that. I think it's just a general pool, but you just notify that you are doing it as part of the Dream State flight. Yeah, no worries. You might get it labeled on your bid. I'm not 100% sure.
If you go to the marathon website and then select the challenge drop down, it goes to charities. You can pull up Dreams Take Flight, and at the bottom it says register, and then you can register as a runner for Dreams Take Flight, and what they give you after that, I don't know.
Okay, I know that we're registered on the Calgary Marathon because I went through all the paperwork to get it done. So anybody else that wants to raise money for us in this way? Absolutely. Okay, any more questions about running? Okay, I couldn't even walk the course, let alone run it. Okay, the next fundraiser is our annual silent auction. Rob Perry would like to speak about this. Rob, where are you? Rob is our annual online auction coordinator. This is a major fundraiser for us. If you have any comments or questions about the auction afterwards, please meet Rob in the lobby, and he'll be happy to help you out.
All right, yeah, thanks to all my volunteers from last year. As Josh mentioned, that we had raised a little over $20,000 once all expenses got done. This year, we're going to shoot for a little bit more than that. The donor email requests are going to start at the last week of April. So my volunteer team that's on the donation request team, we are going to have a call before that because they don't know that yet. Operating space, we have secured a space to do our operations out of where all the donations can be brought, and we'll put the tables in there, and we'll have internet, all that kind of stuff. And that's been donated to us again this year, so there'll be no expenses for that. We do need a few volunteers. We do have a great team. About 80% of our volunteers came back from last year, so that was awesome. Always good to have people who know what they're doing on the team. The volunteers required to help man the drop-off location. So the drop-off location is the operating space. It's in Southwood. It's a workshop over top of a garage, but certainly will do for what we need. Last year, two of our email teams unfortunately had other items come up in their life that they weren't able to complete, so we just subbed in a secondary person and got it done. We are working on some marketing materials this year, trying to get the word out a little bit more and get more donors. The big challenge with an online auction is the more people that go to the auction site and sign up, of course, the more money you're going to make because people will bid against each other. We had a little over 300 at the end of the auction last year. Our goal is to get over 500 bidders this year. So that'll take a lot of work on behalf of all of the Dreams people to be on your social media, and we're going to have these marketing materials developed, promoting the site online. So we're looking for little 4x6 cards that members will be able to take with them for their friends, so that their friends can just scan the QR code and roll it off. We'll soon be in golf tournaments, promoting the auction. The supported businesses, we want to this year give them the option of putting up posters inside their businesses when they donated to us. Number one, celebrating their donation to our charity and the support of our charity. And then secondly, to allow their customers to scan the QR code and come on and start bidding on the products. And then the last, just the volunteers to share with friends and family. Really encourage, once those
marketing materials are available that everybody will go out. Our target this year, we're going to be pretty aggressive. We're targeting for 30,000, and that's 30,000 net after any expenses that we incur. It will run from June 15th to July 26th this year, so it's a little bit earlier than last year, but it does get us to cover both of the golf tournaments so that we can get the maximum of the thing. And we are changing our auction site. Zephy kind of pushes a few more buttons for us as far as what we can do on the site and how we can use the site to help market the auction. And it's free, so that's even better. We don't incur any expenses to use the auction site. So yeah, that's it. More information will be coming out and everybody can participate. I believe, is there a sign-up sheet for the auction? There was going to be one.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so the next email that comes out from the from Dreams will have my new email address for the auction. If you're willing to volunteer, please email me, name, phone number, and your email address. Well, I'll have your email address, obviously, if you're emailing me. And if anyone wants to write it down now, it's pretty simple. It's auction.yyc@dreamstakeflight.ca. Just email me there if you would like to volunteer, and I'll certainly find one of a team. And that's it. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Rob? Yes.
I was just wondering, so if the donor email request, do you automatically send emails donated last year or?
Yeah, there's a spreadsheet that you work off of that has all of the people that have ever donated.
Okay, I'm just asking that so I don't reach out and ask.
Right, we had the donations last year. If you know people that want to donate, though, please have them. It's actually .ca. But if you want my other email, it's coach_Rob@outlook.com. You email me that one, that's fine.
Yeah, let's just use the auction one.
We'll try and use the other. No, you're on my list. If you haven't never talked to me about volunteering, that's what you should do. You should just email.
Okay, Rob's gonna meet anybody that has any more questions or wants to volunteer. Rob will be in the lobby at the end of this evening, and you'll be able to talk to him directly about donations and volunteering and anything else to do with the auction. So any more questions for Rob about the auction? No? Okay. I keep mentioning email. If your email or your physical address has changed, please contact either volunteers or myself to have it changed in our system. Volunteers.yyc@dreamstakeflight.ca. So volunteers.yyc@dreamstakeflight.ca. Because if you're not receiving emails, and you moved, or you changed your email, or you changed your name, we have no way to know. So please make the changes. Okay, next, the Air Canada ticket raffle. Unfortunately, although it's a great deal, it has not sold out in the last couple of years. The Air Canada Foundation provides us with 2 sets of tickets for 2 people each. One is for two people anywhere in the world that Air Canada flies. Australia, Bangkok, Thailand, India, many European destinations, etc., etc. The North American and Sun passes are also for 2 people. You can use them to go anywhere in the USA, Canada, to many Caribbean destinations, Mexico, Hawaii, as long as Air Canada Metal actually flies there. Traditionally, the tickets have been $100 each for the system passes and $75 each for the Sun destination tickets. They used to sell out. they don't. So if you have any suggestions on ticket pricing, we would like to hear from you. Please contact myself, j.caveney, C-A-V-E-N-Y, at dreamstateflight.ca. We did just receive the annual agreement from Air Canada that the passes are again available to us. So the executive will be discussing their sale at the next meeting. So we have also discussed not having them for sale exclusively online. We will have books of paper tickets for you, our volunteers, to sell. Raffle dates have not yet been selected. A reminder to our Air Canada employees and retirees, you do qualify to win these confirmed space passes. So we'll have further information coming out on that. Olympia Trust hold a golf tournament at Apple Creek Golf and Country Club in Airdrie every year. Depending on the weather, this event is held in June. David and Gabriel attend the event to help check in and welcome their guests. Last year, Olympia allowed us to have volunteers at a hole distributing information about our charity and our Dreams on the Greens golf tournament. Thank you, Olympia. We were able to convince some of your golfers to also golf in the Dreams on the Greens golf tournament. FYI, Craig, the CEO of Olympia, was a child on our very first flight in 1993 and has supported us with part of the proceeds from his golf tournament for many, many years. I don't know if there's anybody here tonight from Olympia, but thank you, Olympia Trust. We are fortunate again this year that Donna Young, in conjunction with Forever Young Management, are hosting a golf tournament July 24th at the beautiful private Cottonwood Golf and Country Course on Dunbow Road. Susan Dennett and Elaine Callender are the two Dreams volunteers that are coordinating this event in conjunction with Donna Young and Anita Kraus. Please welcome Anita and Elaine to come and speak about their event.
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
Now? There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're very excited this year for our Dreams on the Greens, which is happening on Thursday, July 24th at Cottonwood. Donna sends her hellos from sunny Arizona, and she sends these updates for me to give you. Cottonwood has done a remodeling on their event center, so we're excited to see what that looks like now. And they've also extended their price points that are very similar to what we paid in 2024. We have our sponsor package all ready to go. I think it's still being worked on getting on the website. If anybody's wanting it tonight, I have a couple printed. Otherwise, I can take down your email and send it to you. But that will be coming out from Dreams as well. In there, you're going to see different opportunities for sponsors. I'll let you know that the cart sponsors are already sold out. We already have 54 golfers confirmed. We're hoping to have 144 golfers this year. We have already confirmed one mystery celebrity that is coming to the golf tournament, but I'm not allowed to tell you who it is yet. You have to wait for Donna to release that. She's also working on a couple of other celebrity golfers to participate in our tournament. The Canadian Brew House is again confirmed for their participating in sponsorship. The long ball hitter Mike Flaherty, he's confirmed again as well. We are working on our golfer swag bags. We've got some items already ordered for those. On the course, our banner putting competition is taking place. We have a basin challenge happening on hole 9. Quidditch is back. It's bigger and it's better, courtesy of Nathan Lewis. The golfer random letters on tee boxes are back with some creative input from Heather on the decor team and Nicole on Team Donna. With regards to if you have any swag items, we are aiming for that 144, 150 golfers. If you don't have that kind of quantity, then we can always use smaller quantities on some other areas that we have prizes to be giving out. So that is great if anybody has any items like that. The volunteers our fabulous Elaine and Susan always organize them. And they also have a link for volunteers, and Elaine is going to give us a spiel on that.
Great. Thank you, Anita. And I just want to thank everyone in advance who's going to be signing up to volunteer for the event. There was an email sent out on the weekend with a link, and apparently a few people have mentioned that it didn't work for them. So tonight, you'll see inside the room on the some of the pillars here, and then outside and on the doors, there's a QR code, so just scan that, and that'll take you right to the form to fill out. It's the same as last year. We just need your full name, email address, cell number, and then check off your shift preference. Note that we aren't able to commit to specific volunteer role requests or pairing requests, so we appreciate your understanding on that. We will start a wait list once the initial spots are filled. We will send out at the end of April, like just a volunteer status, just to let you know that we have received your sign up and whatnot. If you don't hear from us, say by May, just like reach out. Our email address for that is dreamsonthegreens@dreamstakeflight.ca. If you don't hear from us, and or maybe just check your junk mail, might get in there. So what else do I have here? Sorry, and then too, it is listed on the posters, but it's dreamsonthegreens@dreamstakeflight.ca. And then we will be sending out a draft of the volunteer schedule in mid-June, which will be prior to the volunteer meeting just for the people volunteering at the golf tournament, and that's going to be taking place on Tuesday, June the 17th. And we just asked too, like if you are signing up, like we understand that some people, you may not know your schedule exactly, like as to what might be going on in your life in July, but just know that if you do sign up that, it is kind of a commitment, and we appreciate it if you kind of stick to that. Maybe don't ask for that day off, like, the week before the tournament, because once we kind of set the schedule, it does take some time to kind of rearrange everyone. So we just appreciate everyone's understanding on that. And if you do have any questions, like please reach out to Susan or myself, and don't bother Jan with that. She has enough on the go here. Yeah, so I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Susan? Is that pretty much it? Got a question? Hi, sorry.
I tried to do that and it comes up page not found.
Did you do the QR code or the?
No, from the email.
Yeah, apparently a few people were having an issue with that, but I do have, like, if you head on out.
I just copied and pasted it and it got through.
Yeah, but if you try the QR code that's like posted on a couple of the pillars on the doors as you exit where you signed in tonight, and then just give that a go, and then if it doesn't work, just ask Susan or I, and we'll give you a hand with that. Hi, Les.
Is there a fee?
There is a fee.
Yes.
I was just thinking that. I didn't even say the fee. Can we guess what it might be?
Sorry, okay. It's the same as last year.
Harry Potter was so popular last year that he's back by popular demand. So we're going with Harry Potter again this year.
Anyone else? Hi, Heather.
That second email you sent out though, that link worked and you got those volunteers, did you?
I have about 20 people that
Okay, so
emailed
that
over the weekend, that signed up over the weekend. So it did work for some people, but it didn't for a couple others. So not really sure what the glitch was there. But I've tested the QR code a number of times, so that should work for you tonight. Anyone else? Yes?
Okay, everyone. We just want to say thank you again. It's a tremendous amount of work from our sponsors, obviously. However, and everyone, and we do our best to grant everybody a spot. And so, if we don't give you a full day, it's because we want to give everybody else a chance to experience the opportunity. So just be patient. We're going to do our best. And again, more importantly is please book that day off now. Thank you.
Unfortunately, flight attendants can't do that.
That's okay.
Okay, thanks, excuse me, thank you, you guys. If you have any questions, please see Susan, Anita, or Elaine in the lobby after the meeting. And for those of you that are flight attendants, I did just say to them that I understand they're not from this world, but you only bid 1 month in advance. So do the best you can if you're trying to volunteer. And make sure if you don't get the day off that you let them know as quickly as possible and maybe even try to find a replacement. Okay, the next big event that we have planned is the Fund the Flight Festival. This also includes our annual dunk tank. Paige Ross is the chairman of this event. The police chief has agreed to again be dunked, and I hope the fire chief is also going to agree to get wet. That's coming up. I have to look it up. What day is it? August 23rd. Chief Dongworth is here, and he's going to check and see if he's able to do that. So we do have lots of other people lined up to be dunked, including, I believe, the Air Canada station manager and hopefully the in-flight service manager. As I mentioned last year, the dunk tank did not survive, but good thing is it was all captured on film by CTV. It's a good thing that our police and fire chiefs are such good sports. We are looking for a towel warmer. If anyone has one of those electric towel warmers, we'd like to borrow it for the day. Well, and also we're addressing the warmer water. We're going to see what we can do about making the water warmer because I know it was chilly. You are good for that day? Chief Dongworth is here, and he has said he is good for that day. So thank you, Chief Dongworth. So we just need a towel warmer. Worst case scenario, I'll buy one and then I'll have it for my own house. Paige has also invited all of the police special units to attend this event as they did last year. The kids had a great time seeing the bomb robots, the K9 unit, as well as the fire trucks, and one of them was an antique. Emergency services and much more. We are working on better promotion for this event to get more people to attend. Please plan on bringing your kids and grandkids to this fun event. We encourage everyone to come pay up and try to dunk someone in the tank. Although early in the planning stages, the plan is for face painting, mini golf, and kids games, as well as the dunk tank. If you are a face painter, one of our most popular events, and you wish to volunteer or have fundraising ideas, please see Paige in the lobby at the end of the meeting. I know we are looking for more face painters because it is one of the most popular things. So this event is being held August 23rd in the parking lot of the Harvest Hills Community Association. Harvest Alliance Church, Harvest Alliance Church. These are the fundraising events that are confirmed so far this year. I have heard that the Canadian Brew House, in cooperation with the Toolshed Brew House, are also planning a fundraiser. Details when available. We are also pleased to be part of the Rogers Birdies for Kids. For the support we offer them through social media, they match the other donations that we receive. A very easy way for us to make lots of money, as you could see from the financials of last year. Now that we have raised the money, it's time to spend it, all in one day. Our flight is planned for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Although we always hope for a wide-body 777 or 787, Air Canada has promised us an Airbus 321 with 197 seats, same as last year. As I said, our plan all along with the rest of the is the same as the Western chapters, Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, is to go to Disneyland in California. I have discussed with our CBP rep, Arturo Rivera, the crossing of the U.S. border for our kiddos with no passports. He feels there will not be a problem as long as we follow the rules, as we always have in the past. All children must be Canadian citizens. All adults must have valid passports. If you require a visa to enter the U.S., please make sure it is current. Arturo has been our CBP rep and volunteer for 8 years. Unfortunately, his time in Canada is up and he is being transferred to Savannah, Georgia. I know he's not here tonight. He feels this might be his last opportunity to visit Hawaii with his family before he moves to the East Coast. I believe our new representative will be Rigoberto Navarro, Rico. He was able to travel with us last year. We also have Supervisor Heather Matthews who assists us with our planning, but it is very early days. Once we leave Canada, we have to cross the border back into Canada. We are fortunate to have CBSA Port Director Lisa White as a member of our charity. Lisa's here tonight. Thank you, Lisa. In addition to volunteering and helping us with the border crossing back into Canada, Lisa writes our newsletter. She is also an accomplished singer and musician, playing in many venues around Calgary. So try to catch one of her venues. She's what?
She's really good.
She is really good. Selecting volunteers to accompany the children to California is always a contentious issue. We do compile the volunteer hours, but that is only part of the planning. Lisa and Paula are very diligent about putting everyone's hours, but we do make mistakes. If you think a mistake has been made, please email it. However, as I said, that is only one piece of the puzzle. To accompany the children, particularly going back to Disneyland, there are specific requirements on each team. The team captains have to be seasoned volunteers that have demonstrated organizational and problem-solving skills. We also need volunteers on each team that are tech-savvy to navigate the Disney app. We also need volunteers to be photographers on each team that can upload the pictures all day to social media and Team YYC. These jobs are in addition to looking after the children. At the same time, so multitasking is a requirement. First-year volunteers are rarely invited on the flight. We invite you to help out at the airport and get a feel for the excitement and complexity of the day. There are lots of other really important jobs that need to be done in Calgary. We need volunteers to set up the airport in the morning and the evening. We need volunteers to help print the pictures that are put in the kids' backpacks to hand out when they get home. If these kids don't get pictures, some of them, they move on. They change homes, they change foster homes, and sometimes we never ever find them. It's years before they come back to us and say, "Do you have a picture of me?" So we try desperately to get them the pictures that day. We need volunteers to take the kids' pictures in the morning before they leave. There's a crew that needs to put everything away when we get home and take it back to the hangar. We are fortunate the ConocoPhillips volunteers unselfishly come to the airport at 3 a.m. before going to work to meet. They meet the kids and get them dressed for their adventure. It's not all about a trip to Disneyland. It's a lot of hard work. Gabriel is your day of flight coordinator this year. He and I coordinated the flight last year. Just to give you an idea of the amount of work it is, we spent over 1,300 hours on the phone putting the teams together. I know this because I took the numbers off my cell phone and my landline. We are in the infancy stage of planning our flight. Allison Smith, our family and agency coordinator, is in high gear getting things organized with the agencies that nominate the children. The meeting for her to make a presentation to the agencies is Wednesday, May 14th. One vital role that we are seeking volunteers for is the document committee. Going forward, this will be a 3-year position. We hope to have one new volunteer each year as one person's 3-year term expires. We just need to figure out the details of the initial terms. We need one volunteer to be in charge of documents, working with Paula and Lisa. We also need the 2 volunteers to assist. This is a crucial role that involves sending the information to the volunteers to obtain their police reports and entering the information into our FileMaker database. If you are interested and feel that you have the time to organize and the computer skills, please forward your resume to Paula, p.hutton, Hutton, at dreamstakeflight.ca, p.hutton at dreamstakeflight.ca. Paula was unable to be here tonight, but if you have any other questions, please see myself or Lisa after the meeting. Another vital role that we are looking to fill are positions in fundraising and marketing. If you have experience in marketing, please send your resume to me. j.caveny, C-A-V-E-N-Y, @dreamstakeflight.ca. We are also looking for a webmaster. If this is your area of expertise, please contact David Hartwick with your resume. d.hartwick, H-A-R-T-W-I-C-K, with your @dreamstakeflight.ca. Thank you all for attending this portion of the meeting. If you have questions or concerns, we would like to hear from you. Please contact myself or anyone on the executive. If you are more comfortable making your comments anonymously, please fill out the anonymous form in the newsletter. Please make sure that the executive hears your concerns, not just your friends. We need to hear from you. I would now like to ask Jillian DeShooter to proceed with the volunteer recognition portion of the meeting. But before that, I'd like to ask if there's any questions.
I just have,
Go ahead.
a couple people were asking that forgot to bring a wine donation. Will there be other opportunities to drop off wine?
Yes, we did ask everyone to please bring a bottle of wine for our mystery wine auction at the golf tournament. It's a wonderful way to make money. You guys donate at least one bottle of wine worth $20, and then we put it in a brown paper bag with either a white ribbon or a pink ribbon or a red ribbon, depending on what kind of wine it is, and we sell it for, which one did we sell it for last year?
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
So we make all kinds of money, and it's really, really popular. So yes, there will be other opportunities to drop off wine. I believe we're going to try and have another general meeting sometime in May, date to be advised.
It goes with a decorated bear. The wine.
Sorry, say again?
The wine goes with a decorated bear.
Oh yeah, the decorating committee put it in brown paper bags, and then they put a bear on it and tie a ring around it, and you get a bear as well. It's a really fun thing to do. I think last year we had 50 or 60 bottles of wine that we sold. It was really, really popular. And like I say, it's a great way to make money. So we do have fresh baked muffins in the lobby. Thank you to the Lingerie family. I don't know, Jillian, do you want to take a 5-minute break before we do presentations? Or should we carry on? We're going to carry on? Okay, then I'm going to throw you back to Jillian. Go ahead for Jan. Raymond? Yes?
I'd like to just go back to the system ticket raffle.
You need to shout.
Okay, why don't I
Or come a little closer.
He has questions about the system ticket raffle?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm happy to hear his Here, Raymond. And so on.
Thank you. I have been volunteering with this chapter since 2004 when I operated the flight, 2004 and 2005, and every year afterwards as a photographer. This past year I was privileged to be appointed as the president of the Winnipeg chapter of Dreamstake Flight. We had quite a change in the chapter, as you may have heard. We did what's called a corporate hostile takeover. We threw out the existing board and executive and put in a separate board and a separate executive. And we did that in late spring. That gave us then only 3.5 to 4 months to prepare for the flight in October 9th. So we were under a bit of a crunch because we didn't know until late June that the flight was actually scheduled for September 11th, if you can believe it. We managed to get it changed because one of our new directors had some schlep, Jewish term, and we got it changed to October 9th. The raffle was our main fundraiser, and what we did, and I spoke to Rob just a little while ago about it. How did you do it? And we made $35,000 in just over 7 weeks. Paper raffle, $5 tickets, 20 tickets to a book, $100 a book, and we sold 7,000 tickets. And it was done because everybody got on board. even the flight operations secretary was selling tickets at the airport. Everybody grabbed books and helped us out with it. So that's one of the things that you might consider. $100 is obviously out of the price range of a lot of people. We had people at the airport in Winnipeg with a booth, with the Dreamstate Flight booth on regular shifts for weeks at a time, selling the tickets. And then we actually, in our fundraising gala at the end of, at the beginning of November, we actually sold almost 700 tickets at that gala alone. So that's one of the things that you might want to consider, lowering the price, increasing the number. This year, Winnipeg chapter, I stepped down on February 28th, but the Winnipeg chapter is planning, instead of the 10,000 tickets, they're planning 15,000 tickets. And the target is much higher, over $50,000 we're planning to raise this time. And we have a much better head start on it. We've just applied for we just received the blackout dates, so we could apply for the lottery license this last week. And we're going to be starting to sell the tickets in the next couple of weeks, right through to our gala in November again. So.
Okay, thank you, Raymond, for your comments. And as I said, the executive is going to get together next week, and we will come up with a strategy, and we'll let you know. Once again, I did say we're hoping to have another general meeting in May or June, just to kind of give you an update on how our fundraising is going, and we'll let you know by email and social media what we've decided about the tickets. But anyway, we're back to Jillian and volunteer appreciation.
Thank you, Jan. Now first, a few words of explanation. You recall at the AGM last year, we provided certificates for years of service to a few, not all of the members, because we had too many to do. What's going to happen tonight is we're going to deal with those that did not get them last year, that have got 15, 20, 25, or 30 years. We were thinking about doing 5 and 10, but that's an additional 65 people. So we will do those at the summer barbecue that's going to take place in July up on Jan's acreage. So tonight we will start with the 15-year, and as soon as we get Vanna and her assistant out here.
Vanna's here.
No. Okay, so in sequence, right over there. In sequence, Allison Clavel. Daryl Hawes. Frida Osborne. If you go up the steps on the other side, it would be easier probably. Jeffrey Twazen. I don't know if Jeffrey's here. No. Catherine Newman. Kat. Larry Freeman. Linda Exposito, Galindo. Monique Hoffman-Miller. Well, sorry, I thought they were in order.
Larry Freeman. It's not Larry.
All right, all right, yeah. Okay.
And Linda's right here.
Oh, they're not in. All right. These are in order by first name. I apologize. Okay, is Monique Hoffman-Miller here? Okay, Pam Crichton, Sean Phillips, well that's Mookie, and Susan McPherson, are you here? He's not here. Jeff's not here. Yep. Moment.
Hi, Susan. Hi, Jen. How are you?
I don't know what sequence. We'll get right, now, those that are receiving a 20-year certificate tonight.
Linda needs. Yeah, give Linda hers.
Somebody has to take
Linda, you gotta be on the other side of the camera.
Linda, I know you've changed your name, but I just told you. Well, it's still me. Oh, it's still me. I know.
All right, those receiving a 20-year, Dan Link. I don't think Dan is here. Oh, is Dan in? Oh, there he is. I didn't see him sneak in. Marge and Mooser Booze. Believe it or not, the last time they got a 10-year certificate, that was last year, and they've already put in another 10 years.
Time flies when you're having fun.
What we did is we asked everyone to please, if you did get the wrong year, because our database wasn't totally up to date, to please let us know. And obviously, they did. Rick Klost, who's not here, Rosalina Conte, who's not here, but we know that Susan Dennett is.
Hey, guys. Marge. Sir. Yeah, damn. All right.
And we also have a special certificate for someone whose name is not up there. Someone who flew 2 flights for us many years ago and has been a member in Calgary ever since. Mr. Raymond Hall. Okay, for 25 years, we have Glenn Tabergen. Kelvin Larson, otherwise known as Chunk. Pat Hill and Rob Cady.
What'd you start when you were 2, Glenn? Kelly? Hi, Rob. Hey, Joe. You're not gonna hit it. Did that happen? Thanks for coming. Hi, Rob. Good. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah.
You wanna hold it?
You can hold that. Pat Hill. You're welcome. You're so welcome.
And yes, we have some 30-year volunteers.
Oh, how could we? We're not that old.
Oh yes, we are. Angela Lewis. Pauline Cooper. David Garrett. Frank Conte's not here. Jeff Eng. Ken Lewis, Neil Cooper, and Stella LeBlanc.
Hi, sweetie. Good. Something I guess. 30 years.
Colleen gets the trophy because Neil got one last year. And we got one more left here. I can't figure out who it is. Jan. Go ahead. Jan Caveney.
Jillian thinks that we're done, but we're not. Because I'd like to present something to somebody that's been a mentor to me, has bailed me out of so many messes, helps me with my speeches, does all of my PowerPoints, helps me with absolutely everything I need. He's been our treasurer, he's been our vice president. Most of all, he's been my friend. Thank you, Jillian.
No, you don't want me to speech. Definitely not. Thank you very much. It has been a great time. I've been involved one way or the other with Dreams now since 1998. That's 27 years. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And you're not getting rid of me yet. I'll still be around doing some sort of consulting, I think. Anyways, thanks to all of you. As I mentioned, if for some reason or another you believe that maybe you got the wrong certificate or you should have got one, we offer the opportunity to send an email in with the correct numbers, and I can tell you that when we have the next presentation, which will be at the barbecue, we will make sure it's corrected. So at the barbecue, anybody with 5 years and 10 years will get their certificate. Thanks again.
Hello. So once again, thank you all for coming. There are muffins in the lobby. If you're a new volunteer, we invite you to go kind of to the room around the back for a little orientation. And if you're wanting to see one of our coordinators for some of the fundraising, then they will all be in the lobby. And again, thank you to ConocoPhillips for this beautiful venue and all of this space. I just want them to pick this site up and just move it sort of a little bit further out of town towards the south, and then I think it would be perfect. Yes, Anita.
Jen, can Josh tell us where we're at for the fundraising goal we set for tonight?
$400 for tonight. Wow.
So there's still time to increase that.
There's still time, absolutely. So we're at $400 for tonight, so thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, once again, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you all in the lobby.
Oh, that's why you go? Yeah, okay, then I'm going.
And I'll go into the lobby.
Okay, you go to lobby. Here.
Did you, I did send, I think it worked for me because I always forget what I did last year on your thing. So I was just right, I was at something. Sound very pretty, but I was like, what do I write? I always forget,
I almost just put I didn't realize we got titles.
You had a title, you had a title. I just forget. So don't worry about it, sweetie. If anybody's wanted to come in, I did. I have no problems with it. But gave me some email back in March. Are you in line?
Yeah, I had my list to follow up.
Yeah, so I just responded to
That's why, that's a challenge. We're still trying to get our That's all it is, not because it's so hard. It's hard. Like, what if it's easy?
Yeah, I did it because it's easy. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know because I told her my position.
No, it's all good. I mean, ultimately, you just never know what people have. Thank you so much. And it wasn't. Yeah, of course. And the whole point about
I live in the Southeast. I'm not sure.
and it's not about like an exchange. I just wanted to like some people I know they're disappointed they don't get it. And we try to fill the positions and tell people that you are part of this. You're part of the journey and you'll start to do this. And chances are we actually almost got everybody in last year. Just because we don't have